All right, we're here.
Hey,
Yo, we're live. We
do
did
a
it.
podcast. Great.
Yay.
No John this week. John is busy, but he should be back next week.
Yep.
But in some exciting news, I'm going to Gamescom
Oh, we didn't talk about that last week. Well, officially on here anyway, last week,
on
right?
here. Well, it hadn't been approved yet.
Yeah, right. It was
Um,
afterwards that you were saying that maybe. Okay, right, right. God, it's been only a
yeah,
week. It
yeah.
feels
I
like a
got my
life.
approval on Friday of last week. But yeah, my work is sending me to go cover Gamescom, which I am extremely grateful and excited for. And I never thought this was going to happen as we were doing the pitch process. The whole time I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then they said yes, so next month going to Cologne, Germany. And then I asked if I can like delay the flight back and take some PTO and tour around because I'll be over there, and they approved that as well. So I'm gonna go to the Netherlands and go to Amsterdam for the first time.
Oh, I thought
Um
you had been there for some reason. Okay, cool.
nope. So cross that off the list. But yeah, so if anyone listening has Netherlands recommendations,
Your favorite
Amsterdam
strain of
recommendations,
weed to check out. Like, I don't know.
send send those recommendations my way.
Yeah.
Um, and I know so little about Gamescom other than like it's the by like attendance the biggest game convention of the year, bigger than E3 ever was.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
yeah. So if people who are more familiar with Gamescom, maybe some like European listeners or something, have some info, send it my way as well. Or cool things in Cologne. I'm kind of glad it's in Cologne, even though it's not the easiest city in Germany to get to. But it's just a city I haven't been to, so that's nice as well.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
That should be exciting. So yeah, look forward to a bunch of fun little videos and stuff next month.
Yeah, what dates is it in August? Is it like in the first half or the latter half?
Latter half.
Latter half, okay.
Um, it's Gamescom itself is technically the 21st to the 25th, but the
Mm,
opening night, like Keeley's opening night live, the big like initial show, is the 20th, the day
right, okay.
before.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've put in, I've contacted them, being like, I would like to attend. So crossing my fingers that they approve that as well, because that'd be cool to be there in the audience, like I was for the Xbox show and stuff. So
Yeah. Cool.
I'm excited. I never thought I would ever go to Gamescom.
Yeah, cuz like
It's so far away.
yeah, it's across the world.
Yeah,
So,
literally
yeah.
on the other side of the world. Yeah, so bucket list item checked. I mean, I'm like knocking on wood. I'm knocking on all the wood because like things could fall through somehow. Like
Mm,
personally do not believe this trip will happen until I am in Cologne.
sure. Yeah. That's probably the safe way to go about anything really in life, to be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Question in the chat. Now you're only missing Tokyo Game Show. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying when I talk to them about Gamescom, they're like, "Oh, so you're gonna try and pitch Tokyo Game Show as well?" That's a month, like literally a month later.
Oh, wow.
There's no way I could get that approved. Um,
Well,
even from like a content perspective, because it'll be the same stuff.
yeah,
Like
not
they don't.
wrong.
There's not enough time for them to. So like maybe next year, pie in the sky next year, I'll try and pitch Tokyo as opposed to Gamescom. But I almost don't think it's worth doing both because I'm sure you'll get different developers, but for a lot of the bigger names, it'll be like, yeah, we're bringing the same demo to there as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
So yeah, maybe one day I will do Tokyo Game Show. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Everyone cross your fingers that the Gamescom trip does fully happen and
Yeah,
nothing gets
that
the rug
everything
doesn't get
works
pulled
out.
out from underneath me. Because I want to do it. I want to go to Amsterdam. um, so I need all your prayers. Yep. What have you been up to this week? Anything equally exciting?
I've been in hell, so no.
Oh no. Just what's up?
Work. Just work.
Just work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. It's been something.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. It is what it is.
You watching anything cool lately that you want to shout out?
Everything comes out on Thursday, so it's after this is gonna be like catching up on a bunch of stuff. I guess like I started Suicide Squad Isekai, and that's fucking awesome. That's a great show.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was kind of looking for someone to watch, so maybe I'll give
you
that
should
a
check that
try.
one out. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. It's kind of the same idea. You like the Harley Quinn animated series or whatever, so it has kind of
Yeah,
a
and
similar-ish thing.
the Kite Man spin-off is like I think next week or something. Like it's soon.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, Kite Man is getting his own show and it's coming out soon.
Oh man, that's kind
That's
of
great.
crazy. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
excited for that. Kite
Yeah,
Man, that guy rocked, and I don't think he was in like the last season, so
they're
I guess
doing
they were
some good
saving all
stuff
of the
with
stuff with him.
Suicide Squad in like
Sure.
areas other than gaming. But
Yeah, good point.
yeah, no, that show's really cool. Watched Acolyte,
Okay.
the new episode of the Acolyte.
Yeah, I just finished that.
Yeah, it's okay. It was alright.
It's okay. It's kind of like last week was like the big one, so this is just kind of like, all right, now we need to kind of move some plot forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I guess The Boys, right, is probably tonight. I feel like there was another show that was tonight that I don't remember. I watched all of The Bear season 3 and that was okay. Not as good as the other two seasons, but I feel like that's kind of the way a lot of these shows go, where they kind of lose some steam.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Yeah, it was fun though. Good time.
All right, well, let's talk about some video games. Top down perspective, July 4th. Oh yeah, it's July 4th.
It is.
Um,
Yeah. Happy Independence Day or whatever.
I guess I'm having a hard time like finding reasons, American wise, to like be excited about America right now. So I'm glad I got the day off.
Yeah.
I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
And Paul, what have you been playing?
Well, I guess the first thing is I finally started Erdtree. That's finally
Nice.
I'm finally in. Immediately that game, just that DLC rather, just reminds me of how much I love that game. Just like going into that first open field with the like the ghost like tombstones and shit, and the
Yeah.
large like wheat and grass or whatever. It's very, very cool. And
Did you go to that like little like mausoleum that's kind of like really close? It's on to the left. It's like, and there's a dude in the basement there.
I went straight ahead into a swamp with a
Okay.
dragon, and then that was a mistake
Okay,
at
okay.
first.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of backtracked a little bit and went up into like a castle area.
Yeah, the castle's definitely kind of like the first actual thing you should do. Did you finish the castle? I
No,
saw a bit of your stream, but I didn't see where at the end of it
I got
was.
to the boss and I died on the boss a whole bunch, but I learned the pattern. Now I just got to execute it. That
Okay.
It's pretty fun. I wish I did a little more damage. Like I feel like if I did just a little bit, I probably would have got it on one of the attempts because I was pretty close. But when
Well, you could go search for more
I could.
tree fragments, shadow tree fragments,
You
however
need kind
wanna
of
pronounce it.
like you need a few of those to like level up. I need 2 for 1 level or whatever. So
Well, no, well, it starts it with 1, and
yeah,
then after a couple of them, then it switches to switches to 2, then it switches to 3, and I don't think it's ever goes to 4, but maybe I'm misremembering.
sure.
And it's the same
that
with
makes some sense.
the Ash one as well, which I guess doesn't really matter because you don't summon.
Yeah, no, I haven't summoned yet. I think if I had summoned, I probably could finish this boss. He's not too bad pattern wise. It's just one of those. If he hits you, like you're probably just dead, sort of thing, because you can get comboed and he hits really hard. So it's fine. The thing about the boss that has been throwing me off quite a bit is the when he goes into like his elemental dances, and it's almost kind of like I just kind of don't know what to do about the electrical thing, so I just been trying to survive through that because I feel like you can't really punish any of his attacks because he puts down a bunch of like lightning bolt areas, area of effect things when he does anything. So I feel like you can't really stand around too long. And I've just been trying to like survive through that and then wait for something else where I can actually feel like I can attack back at all. But that's kind of what's been throwing me off a little bit.
Well, again, you can leave the castle and go find some fragments. There's a whole bunch in that starting
I could,
area.
but I'm having fun. I like dying over and over
Okay,
and
sure.
beating the boss this way, so it's fun. It's a good time.
Okay. It-
I
you got all the way to the swamp with the dragon, so you must have seen like the big fire dude.
yeah, you could say
Yeah,
that. I
there's,
did
like-
go after him to see like what he would do, and you just can't be anywhere near him because he does so much area of effect damage that it's like
Yeah,
I can't do anything. So
Yeah, no, and there's like 8 of those around the course of that whole DLC. I haven't killed a single one.
oh okay. Yeah, I am wondering if they come back or whatever because it seems like an ordeal to kill even one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. But yep, no, and again, I'm not I'm a melee class, so I need to get close, and that's just a bad idea.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that like if I was doing magic or whatever, some of the things I've encountered that seems like a real pain in the ass would have been somewhat trivial right now, just having some range. But then again, it might like I can take a few hits from stuff. Maybe if I was a caster, I couldn't. So it is like
Sure.
it's a
Yep.
give and take.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that game's cool. I do kind of want to explore more, definitely, just because I want to see some new weapons. I found one that's like a dagger that seems like it would be pretty cool, but I generally don't like use daggers or whatever, so I'm probably not going to use it. I want to find some big weapons.
Do you want me to point you towards some, or do you want everything to be like a surprise?
What area would I find like some big swords and weapons and stuff or whatever? Yeah.
Well, okay, so that I don't know. What I was going to point you towards, though. So from the spot you like immediately enter the DLC from,
Okay. Yep.
if you go right,
Okay.
there will be you'll get invaded by a dude who has some of the fisticuff new weapons. So if you wanted to try out the hand-to-hand combat stuff, there's a dude there, and if you follow that path, there's some of the shadow tree fragments as well. So that's a good spot to go over to.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's
Cool.
the one. That's just the one that was onto my head. I will say though, at first boss, I was able to beat that one pretty okay.
Mhm.
Easier when I had my build, obviously.
Sure.
The second boss though is an absolute fucker.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
sure
that's-
there's a few of them that are just gonna take me a long time. So
Yeah. And then over on my side, like I kind of mentioned last time, I'm at the final boss.
oh, okay.
I don't know about this thing, man.
I'm
Holy
guessing
shit.
I'm guessing Mesmer because they keep talking about Mesmer, so that seems like
No.
oh okay.
Mesmer's like halfway through the DLC.
Oh really? Okay. They're talking a lot about
Yeah.
Mesmer, so it's like okay.
No,
Interesting.
this yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have the way a lot of the bosses worked for me in this DLC was I would beat them on like if I didn't beat them on the first one, I would probably beat them on my second or third go. And if that didn't happen, it was an instance of it's like, "Oh, I am like barely touching you. I don't know about this." You know, similar to like the fire golems where it's just like I don't even know how I could do any damage against this, like what's going on. And there was a couple I want to say there was a few that I had like maybe 3 or 4 that were just like I think I'm just not ever going to do this. Um one of which I brought someone in to summon with me and then we destroyed the boss, and I think the other ones had just like figured out a way to do it. There is one dragon where it just does so much damage and has so much health that I'm struggling against.
Sure.
But it's the last dragon for me. And then this final boss, like holy smokes, I don't even know. And I'm trying to summon him, but for some reason the summon mechanic is like kind of broken. I've only successfully been able to bring someone in once.
Oh, okay.
Maybe twice. I don't know, but yeah, for some reason, every time I'm trying to summon them in, it just like it bugs out and goes unable to summon, and I have to like turn it off, turn it back on, and hope it works. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with that right now.
Is that like a networking error or something?
Yeah, I don't know what
Weird.
the issue is. So yeah, I don't know. So I had to kind of step away because I was like, oh, I can't just beat my head against this forever. I have to play other stuff.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll pick away at it as I see fit. I think that's going to take me a while to get through, and I'm going to, unlike Elden Ring proper, I'm gonna take my time and enjoy it and not feel like just diving right in. Mainly because there's other shit I want to play right now too, so that's a big
Sure.
part of it.
Yep.
Um,
Well, now's probably like the slowest you're gonna get for the rest of the year, like because once we kind of get to the second half of August and September, there's a lot.
yeah, I'll probably just work on it in between stuff as I go.
Sure.
Seems
Sure.
seems seems the best way to go about it. After that, I at some point this week I tried out the first Descendant, loaded that up, and started shooting some dudes. And honestly, was kind of bored pretty quick in it.
Oh yeah, not into it.
It's okay. Like it's kind of like a Warframe or something or Destiny, but like not on the same
It's
quality.
extremely Destiny.
Yeah, yeah,
Like to
yeah,
the point where you have like kind of a robot person talking to you
yeah.
the whole time.
Uh,
I'm liking it. I played this back at Summer Game Fest, and yeah, now it came out like yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I played a lot more of it now. I think there's a lot there for free to play. I mean, Destiny
Yeah.
was also free to play.
Mhm.
Um, but there's definitely like a lot of currencies and a lot of things you can upgrade. Um, I do think the free to play is not as in your face as the next game we're about to talk about.
Yes, very much
Um,
so.
but I'm liking it. What character did you pick to play at the beginning?
Ice Lady.
Yeah, I picked. It seems everyone's picking Ice Lady, but I kind of regret it because I think not the really big dude, but the other guy who has like gravity
Mm.
stuff. Have you seen his abilities?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
yeah. So what I really like about this game is you can just kind of constantly have people join your mission, which I feel like when I was playing Destiny, that only happened if I like invited people in or if we were like on the map and we were doing a public event and there was just people around. This one I'm doing like missions and if someone's nearby, they're just like going to join the mission and that's pretty cool. So I have seen that other class and they have just a bunch of like kind of like if you know like Zarya from Overwatch where it like sucks all the enemies together and when she uses her ult, he can do that, and that's really fun
Okay.
to fight against. So I almost kind of wish I had picked that character. Um, but Ice Lady seems fine as well, and I'm slowly working on. I think part of the main campaign is you're going to be able to unlock Bunny.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Uh,
that seems probably a thing. Yeah.
like it seems like I'm getting the components to build Bunny, which I also don't quite understand because Bunny's a named character in this universe.
Right.
So how does that make sense if I'm like
Yeah.
building Bunny?
Yeah.
But
The
I
good
don't know.
old free to play.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Bunny is what I played in the preview when I was in LA.
Okay.
Um, so I have played Bunny, but yeah, no, I think it is just kind of like another Destiny, which is probably
Yeah.
a good time it came out because Destiny kind of just ended.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, if you want more of that, here's another free version of kind of a similar game, and
Yeah.
that has a double jump and it has a zip line or a grappling hook.
The grappling hook feels really good. I wish I was able to use it all the time and like there wasn't a cooldown, but it's pretty often, so it's good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Um just there's so many other things to play that I'm probably not going to go to it too often because I started up Zenless Zone 0.
What are you playing this on?
I am playing it on PC.
Okay. Oh, it's not on Steam though, right?
It's on Epic or their own launcher.
Oh, Epic. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because I was looking for it on Steam and it didn't show up. I'm playing this on PlayStation. I wanted to play this on my phone, but I didn't have like 30 gigs
I don't either. That
available
was the
on my phone.
problem. Yep.
Yeah, and I even tried like deleting stuff, and I'm just like, I can't make any more cuts for this game that I'm probably gonna drop after 2 weeks. This
Sure.
is ridiculous. Why is this game so big?
Sure. Yeah. Zenless Zone Zero is fun. I really actually enjoy quite a bit of it. It has that like Hoyo quality to it where it's easy to play. It's engaging enough. I played for 3 hours yesterday when it like unlocked, and
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty into the combat of like switching between the different characters. It does get kind of samey, but it still has so much style that it's like just fun to look at. Um,
I was
for
gonna
most
say
of the
this
time.
this one I got more bored of between the two free to play games. Because I do think the combat is just kind of mashy. Like I don't even know if there's really like combos. It's
There
more
are
just keep
100%
hitting.
is. Yeah.
Is there combos?
Yeah, like it depending on if you like to hold the buttons and like do certain things at different times and switch between the different characters, you do
Oh,
different
okay. Because
things.
there's not like a light and heavy attack to go back and forth
No,
like
not
that
that
style of
way.
combo.
It's like
Yeah.
switching between the characters to do stuff.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
is that one. Yeah. No, and like I said, it is super flashy. So at least there's like kind of a lot of stuff to like look at, and it's kind of one step away from like a quick time event where it's like, okay, I'll switch to this person, and when I switch, I know I have to hit X, yada yada. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it does also look really nice for sure. Yep.
It has the problem of the monetization thing is like pretty egregious in this.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
really want you to buy stuff, obviously, which fair enough. It's a free to play mobile thing. Of course, that was going to be there. But I think the reason why it's kind of a bummer in this is because the different characters are directly how the game plays differently. Like, I don't know if you try, they have like a part where you can try the different characters, like get a demo of them. And the way the
Yeah.
different characters play and play together, it's really engaging and fun, which is of course why they put it behind the mechanic of like pulling the lever right over and over again until maybe you get one by chance. Like, and that's just kind of gross because it's like this team that like you let me demo is fucking awesome. They have different like abilities that mesh well together and you can do cool things. Now I have to see if I can get these three characters from loot boxes essentially for like $40 a pull or something, like for 10 pulls or
Yeah.
whatever
Is
it
there
is.
is there no way just to buy the characters? I couldn't find that, but
I
there is
don't
a lot of menus in this game.
I don't think so. What these games usually do is they give you like a sympathy thing where after 500 pulls, they'll give you whatever character you have selected.
I did see that one. I think it's actually 300. But yeah, because I did see
300,
that
you're
one.
right. Yeah.
But also the idea of me doing 300 pulls, like, no,
Yeah.
that's never gonna happen.
So I did 30 just based on the stuff that they give you in game. I haven't put any money into
Okay.
it. And
Yeah.
that's okay, but like it's
Did you get a
still
character?
I did get a character. It was a character I kind of wanted, so that was neat, but like of course it was
Okay.
cuz now it's like here's
Which,
a
which
little
one did you
taste.
get?
Soldier
Yeah.
11 is her name.
I have no idea who that is. What
She
does she look like? Does she have the tail? Like is she the water one?
she looks like
The shark one?
oh my god, what was Soldier, what is it in Overwatch? Almost like a female
Soldier 76.
yeah, almost like a female Soldier 76 in an orange like jumpsuit sort of thing basically. Like it's obviously
Okay.
a nod to that probably.
I got a character from. I think it was in like my mail or something. So they must have just given her out or given someone out for
Okay.
some promotional thing or whatever. But I got like she's like a little girl with like a big saw blade, a circular saw.
Sure, you're right. I did get her too. Actually, now that you
Okay,
say it,
so
I
I
can't.
guess
Corinne,
they
I
gave
think is
her.
her name. Corinne,
I
something like
I
that.
don't know who anyone's name is. I
Sure.
don't even understand really like the world. So you like so you're like a normal human, but then you can like put your mind into the computer or something and then control the agents when they're in the special area.
It seems
I
like
have
it's a
no idea
world
what's going
where
on.
like think of like the world of the Matrix, right? Where there's like another world or whatever that you can tap into. Apparently there's like
Yeah.
parts of the real world where you can get like sucked in there or whatever, and there's groups of people that go in
And
there
you're
to
like
try
stuck in there, right?
that you can be. So the group of people that like you start the game off with are raiders that go into those areas for as jobs for people to find shit and like bring them out or whatever. And then shit goes bad because of course they do and whatever. Yeah. I don't know. The story isn't
I
too
don't
too
know.
bad. It's kind of boring though, and there's a lot of cutscene, like a lot of cutscene. I was sitting
Cutscene.
listening
It's
to a
it's
lot.
like a visual or like a motion comic.
Yes, yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot of it too. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably just start skipping through that stuff because I do like the gameplay part, the gotcha mechanic. Like it is what it is, but they also have this weird kind of persona like light thing going on in there where you're walking around a world and talking to people and going to like the cafe and going to the soup shop and shit like that. So there's a lot of Persona DNA in there as well that is, I guess, just the thing that you do in between. There was one day where I didn't go into the computer at all. I literally just went around the street there talking to people and ended up with
But there's
like,
no like relationship
as
meters
far
or
as I
anything,
can see,
right?
no, there isn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, I was, I like the way it looks, but the one presentation aspect I don't like is it is definitely like mobile first because all of your like
Yeah.
inputs are just big, big
In the
circles
corner.
in the corner. Like it's like, oh, so you just took the touchscreen UI and put it on my TV. You didn't think about like designing it a little smaller. Nope, you're just okay. So yeah, I do wish I could like kind of take it on the go and because it is. I'm sure the gotcha, the free to play style of it would work really nicely in like an on the go. Oh, I have like 15 minutes here. Let's just like run a level or whatever. But yeah, I can't fit it on my phone, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm having enough fun with it, but it's, I don't know, both of these games, the first Descendant and ZZZ, are probably relegated to like second monitor, like watching a YouTube video and just like
Oh,
vegging.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to be paying too much attention to either of them if I go back to either of them. So
And then other than that, I've gone back to Stellar Blade to continue that, and I bring that up because the through line between these three games I'm
yeah,
playing right now, I think they're all Chinese developers or East Asian developers. Um, and they're all very like front and focused on boob physics.
yeah,
And I just all three of them. It was a weird realization. So
yeah,
take that for what you will.
yeah. Weirdly, Zenless Zone Zero not as crazy as you would assume, knowing that it's Hoyo, but yeah, it's still there for sure.
I think it's the craziest out of the three I'm playing. Stellar Blade's pretty jiggly.
Stellar Blade is, yeah, Stellar Blade is probably the one for sure. Zenless Zone Zero has the furry representation too, so there is that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, First Ascend does have Bunny, but yeah, okay. So yeah, that's all we've been playing. Let's do a little bit of news. Not a bunch happening right now. But they did technically say they're working on the next mainline Resident Evil.
Yeah, to the surprise of probably nobody. It's like, yeah, of course you are.
No. There was it's called like a Capcom Next. I didn't actually watch this stream.
It was only 3 games they talked about, and the Resident Evil representation was the iOS Resident Evil 7
Yep.
stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like I looked at the three, and one was Kunitsu Gami, which I previewed at Summer Game Fest. So I was like, well, I don't really need to see any more of this. I'm good. So yeah, I didn't really watch that, but they did talk that they're working on the next Resident Evil. I keep seeing the quote going around where he was like, after 7, I finally know what I want to do next. And I'm like, why aren't they? Yeah, you already did 8. So why aren't you saying after 8 I know what I want to do next? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was the other thing they did in this thing? The Capcom thing? Not.
Oh, it was Dead Rising.
You're right. It was. That's what it was.
Anyway, to no one's surprise, Resident Evil 9 is going to be a thing.
Yeah, like of course, we all knew that.
To also, I don't think this is very surprising. That Horizon TV show that got announced 2 years ago seems like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not surprising, but honestly, I haven't even thought of this thing until you bringing it up right now. So sure, okay.
So people remember this was announced when The Last of Us was doing extremely well. So Sony was like,
You're right. Yeah.
let's crank up the engine. Let's get some more of these happening. And Horizon was announced with Netflix. However, this seems like it's because the showrunner Steve Blackman, who's doing Umbrella Academy, is under some allegations about being just awful. So it might be tied more to that. I also probably think they were like, oh wait, you need us to make CG robot dinosaurs like all the time? Oh shit, this is gonna be expensive, isn't it? I'm sure it's a combination of both. Um,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Blackman has left the project, so it sounds like the show is pretty much not moving forward. Not surprising. And this last story I grabbed here is that Nintendo went on had and no, yes, I will disable my ad blocker. Go away. All right. Anyway, Nintendo went on did an interview this week talking about AI, and kind of the big headline here is that they came out basically saying that they will not be putting generative AI into their games.
Mm.
Um, which I'm not really surprised based on. And I think if anyone was going to not do it, I feel like Nintendo would not do it.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think of what they like. Maybe like Charles Martinet voice lines going wahoo or something. Like I could. That's probably like the extent I could see them using AI to do anything, if anything. But generally, I would assume they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, they seem like they kind of definitely look at this as like a craft, as like an artistic craft, with like meaning behind it. Even like keeping on specific developers
Yeah,
for decades and decades and stuff, and bringing up new staff and training them. Like they definitely seem like they really respect the industry. Versus when you look at like there was the quote from EA's CEO, like this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, who literally was like, "Oh, we want this to happen as fast as possible.
yeah,
Like we are extremely excited about AI." And I think his
yeah,
quote was even something like, "The developers I'm speaking to, we are extremely excited." And it's like, what developers are you speaking to? Because I don't think that's accurate, sir.
yeah, yeah. Like
Um,
as much as shit as I love personally, even to give Nintendo, they are very much old school in the way they do a lot of things, which is very annoying for us the consumer when it comes to stuff like making a lobby for multiplayer games or any multiplayer stuff or whatever, or anything with the internet or any quality of life maybe in some of their games. But they still like people sitting down at a computer in a company making a thing, I think, which is why they
Now I'm just
probably
wondering
wouldn't
if
use
they're
it.
just sitting there being like, "Yeah, we're not putting AI in our game." Much like we're not going to put like an online like good lobby
Because
connection
they don't
system
understand
because
it.
we don't know how.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we're not there yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I would be shocked if they never did AI because it just seems like it's going to remove so many jobs, it's going to be saving so many people money that they're just going to be like, as a company, we have to. The shareholders demand it.
I
Yeah,
mean, maybe.
whatever.
Japanese cultures are completely different in how they approach all that shit, though. So maybe it's hard to
It's
tell.
definitely like employee friendly, a lot friendlier than America, that's for sure. And just like the North American Western.
Yeah, they have problems in different ways with their employees, maybe overworking them, sort of thing. But like, yeah, they still want to keep employees if possible.
um I don't know, but it's like a small little victory for the uphill battle we're all fighting against AI. So I tip my hat to them at least for doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's the end of the news. Like I said, not much going on. Let's answer some questions that were asked to us.
Oh, okay, sure.
If you want to send in a question, perspective at gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. You could sound like Suku Suku, who wrote, which I think this is like an internet meme joke or like one of those Reddit jokes. I think I've heard it before, but here we go. So you and a super intelligent snail both get $2.9 million,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
and you both become immortal. However, you die if the snail touches you. It always knows where you are and slowly crawls towards you. What's your plan?
Yeah, this is the constant threat of something like always chasing you sort of thing. I
Yeah,
guess
but
with
it's this
2.9
one's
million.
yeah. I don't know what the point of giving the snail the money is as well. It's not like that's incentivizing the snail. Um,
It's
the
a good
snail just,
point.
you know, like it just based on like its level of like understanding and like brain capacity. It just has like an instinctual need to find me, right? Or to like touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fun thing, I guess, is that if this isn't a supernatural snail, which it always seems to be when you talk to people with this sort of thing, where they're like, okay, but the snail can always go through doors, or what, like they always add in caveats. If this is just a snail and I have $2.9
Well, it says
million
it's
dollars,
super intelligent. So
okay, like
I don't know if it
I
can,
probably
I
just
don't
sit
think it
in a
can like
room, like
I don't think it can like go through a wall, but
yeah.
like it can like it knows what needs to be done to open a door. Whether it can do that
Oh,
like
I see.
efficiently,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like I think that's comes into question, but I don't think it's like, well, it can phase through walls. I don't think that's happening.
sure. May I suggest a salt circle is actually hilarious. Yeah, I just put salt around my room. Like, it's pretty easy.
Or around the snail.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you just kill the snail right away. Like, let's just get
Well,
rid
it's
of it.
immortal. You can't kill the snail. But
That's
so I
true.
think like if you're trying to avoid the threat, you need to trap it. Your option is either trap it or stay away from it. And then you have time on your side because it's slow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is smart, so it could like maybe it can like get on a plane. It could sneak onto a plane. It's super intelligent, but again, it is slow.
But like, if you put it in a metal box and welded that metal box completely shut, like, are you just okay now? Because no matter how smart it is, it can't like melt through metal.
Right. I think you would be okay.
But you never know
And
for
I mean like
sure, I guess. Really.
yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could watch it happen. I think the safer one is you get someone else to trap it because you don't want to risk getting too close to it, right? So you get someone else to trap the snail and you watch it happen so you know. And I guess in the back of your
Yeah.
head you could be wondering, did it get out? Maybe you keep the box with you so you can check it at all times. And then the only problem is, has the snail thought 2 steps ahead about this? Because it is super intelligent.
Uh
Like
huh.
theoretically, when this happens, the first thing the snail is thinking is he's probably going to try and trap me. I need to be ready for that.
Sure. Okay, but at the end of the day, it is still a snail, right? Like it, if you put it in a
Right. It
thing
is.
in a like jar, theoretically you should be fine.
If you can get it into the jar,
If you can
yes.
get
But
it
then
into the
it'll,
jar.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So what's my plan? I don't know. I just touch the snail and get it over with. I can't live like that.
I think I get someone like I'm a millionaire now.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I'm going to pay a team of people to trap and weld the snail into a box. And yes, the snail is going to be stuck in there forever
Yeah.
until I guess I'm ready to die.
Yeah. Like I'm just so here's also the thing. In 2024, $2.9 million, even though it's more money than I have, is still not enough to live forever comfortably, depending on, especially if you're hiring people to watch a snail or whatever. So,
Well, I think I'm gonna watch this out. I think I'm going to
oh
like
yeah, yeah, that's fair.
they're gonna make me this box. I'm gonna buy this box. I'm gonna weigh the box.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get them to trap it, weld it shut. Now I want the new weight, and I want it on a scale at all times because if it gets out of that box, it'll be a little lighter. So that's when I know.
Yeah. If
2.9. I don't know if you like invest that correctly, you should be okay, right? I mean, you are immortal, so
oh yeah, man, I don't want to be immortal. I actually kind of hate this. Being immortal sounds
well,
one of the
well,
worst.
you're immortal, but you can choose when to die. You let the snail out.
That's true. You pet it or something.
You like open it up and you're like, "Hello, friend. It has been 3,000 years. Let's end this."
At some point, do you just forget the snail even exists because it's been so long that you forgot about the deal? Even
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
weird. If the snail, so does this only happen if the snail touches you? What if like you hire somebody to touch the snail? Is it just a poison snail, or is it like you
I
specifically?
think it's
If
just
you,
us. I think it's just us.
oh, then I get somebody to put a little collar on it, and it makes a beep when it's within like striking distance. Is that a thing you should?
Again, Again,
use
though, it's super intelligent. It'll find a way to get the collar off,
to get
right?
the collar off. Yeah, maybe.
Like it's slow, but it's super intelligent. And I think the best thing that the snail has going for it is that as soon as we say, all right, game on, and the snail gets its thoughts, it is now thinking about, okay, what everything we're gonna plan to do. It now needs to think of a plan, right? Like it's Batman.
Mm,
Everyone's like, Batman can beat everyone if he has 24 hours to prepare.
right.
And I think that's what the snail has. But the
Okay.
snail is just slow.
Right. Now I'm just imagining this snail getting an army of like 1,000 snails to mix itself in with, and you never know which one is the correct one or whatever.
Maybe that's why the snail needs the money, because then the
Yeah.
snail can pay people to like kidnap me.
Yeah. And also for like a stylish top hat or something.
Sure, yeah, whatever, yeah, super
Whatever he
villain
wants.
outfit it needs.
Yeah. I really like that the snail gets $2.9 million. That's so funny to me. Oh, that's really good. What an odd question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea of something like consistently coming at you though. Like that's unnerving.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely.
VGC Kenny writes, a few weeks ago, Sean and Paul discussed what their last meals would be. This got me thinking, what would your last video game be? The only condition is you can only choose one game. You can't, for example, say the Yakuza series. You have to pick one. Makes sense.
Again, like the food one, are you just picking your favorite?
Yeah, I don't. So, okay. Is this no matter what happens, I'm going to die the next day? Or is it you will die after this thing is played? Because, like, if I got to choose, I would say maybe, like, GTA 6 or something. Because, like, I want to see that before I die. Like, you know what I mean? But if it's,
Well,
like, no
here's the
matter
other
what
thing.
you're going to die, then maybe something comforting, I guess.
Well, unlike the meal one, where if it's your last meal, you will die without having another meal. Are we dying after this video game, or is it just the last one? Then we're not playing games anymore.
Right, because then the idea is, like, Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, like anything that doesn't end, right? Specifically.
Yeah. I think if we're kind of uh, making it similar to the last meal, yeah, you're on death row for whatever reason.
Yeah.
What do you want your last game to be? So do you play like a favorite, or what do you do?
I think I probably play something that's comforting and just makes me like accept the situation, like a Spiritfarer or something. Just
Oh, okay.
like this is a bad situation, but hey, we all gotta go sometime.
What comes to mind for me is I'm thinking I get a Rock Band night with my friends,
Okay,
like something multiplayer that I know I really like, and
sure.
then I'm also getting like the friend part, and it's not just like for my last night on Earth, I sat in my room and played Burnout Paradise by myself, and I crashed into the one guy who had an Xbox Live Vision camera, and
Yeah.
wasn't wearing any pants.
What if it like it's you're in like a jail cell or something? Like you're in a. It has to be a solitary thing. You can play online with somebody because there's connection, but you can't do it in like person. Does that change your answer to something, or would you just get them to come online to play something?
And that'd be so much setting up. Like, okay, so I need you to like go to
On
get
this
your own
date.
Xbox, and
Yeah.
then you need to get the instruments online. You got to subscribe to Game Pass Core because that's how you play online
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's solitary. Like they can't come to the cell.
Can people visit you on death row like before you die? Like in
I
groups? Probably one or two. Yeah,
I mean, they don't really. The death penalty is not really a thing anymore for good reason. So I don't hear about it that often.
I think it is still a thing
I
in
would have
some states, but not
some states.
I think so.
Okay, I hope not, but yeah, maybe.
I want to say
With the way this country's
Texas.
going,
I
I feel
was
like Texas is like no, I don't know. Someone in the chat probably knows. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
Google
sure.
this. This is gonna bum me out.
I'm sure. Wouldn't it be funny if it's like, yeah, it's actually legal in every state?
There's no way.
It's probably not legal in every state. But it's probably
Oh
there for
yeah,
some.
there's like a dozen of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is Texas one of them? That's the big question.
Texas is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the ones you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Okay.
Yep.
Is there a single player game that you would play as your last game? If for some reason there wasn't a multiplayer
Yeah,
option.
it's like just like a game I haven't played that I've always wanted to. Then it's probably like Disco Elysium.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Something I just like never has been like on the top of my to play pile for so long. I probably finally got through Disco Elysium.
It was kind of brought up in the chat, but I'm going to take a different spin on it. What about a gacha game and then you just spend all the credit money that like you're signed up for in the world to get like 1,000,000 pulls and then die? Just
And then
like
don't do anything with it? Like what's so it's like why don't I just give the money right to the developer? Like why even like waste my time watching that animation over and over again?
Oh no, you could skip it, but I mean like as your last game, you're just like getting every credit card you have out, putting out like a second mortgage or whatever. It's like I'm going all in, baby. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
triple
they'll never get
S
this
quality.
money back.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this 5-star anime girl. All right,
think
guys, I'm ready.
I think that's actually a bad idea because I'm pretty sure that goes all to your family and like your second, whoever's like taking care of your estate after you die is probably not a good thing to do.
I mean, based on the timing of this, I might be one of like the last people in my family.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
Rasterman 7. What's the game that you currently use for reference to say that someone is old or young? This question is in terms of release date, not by how the game is played. For example, a colleague from university uses Portal 2007.
For reference to say if someone is old or young.
I'm assuming that, like they're saying that if someone is like if someone played Portal when it came out, they're old.
I guess I just always
2007,
assume
so that
that
would be what, like 13? No,
17 years.
17. So 17 is old? What? There's no way. What are you talking about?
So anytime somebody says that Fortnite is their favorite game, I assume they're young. I don't know if that's a thing that counts for this.
Okay.
Fortnite seems like the young
Sure.
game.
Or Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah. Roblox. Oh, Roblox.
Well, the thing is, I don't hear Roblox because those are very young people.
Yeah, unlike some people on Twitch, I do not talk to minors myself, so I agree. Yeah.
Or yeah. Or do they mean like if if you were like yeah, I don't know. Portal seems like way too soon because yeah, 17 years. That is not an old person. And this person's in university, so they're younger than you.
Yeah.
I mean, Fortnite's gotten pretty popular. Like I know a ton of adults that are playing Fortnite.
Yeah,
John
it's
plays a
changed.
shit ton of Fortnite. So
Yeah, that's changed. I mean, I've played
well,
a bunch here and there.
some of the chat says 17 is adult age in some countries. Yeah, I mean 18 is like kind of the standard around here.
Mhm.
So I guess if we're changing the definition from like kid to adult, then
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. Saying young or old, like I'm not looking at a 17 and being like you're an old person because
Right.
then I'm dust.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Game you currently use for reference to say someone is old or young.
I'd say if someone came up to me and they said they like if they're looking at like GameCube, PS2, and they're looking at that and being like those are old consoles, then this person is young in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Which I know those are like 20 years plus old, so like they are considered quote unquote retro, which does just seem kind of it just doesn't work to my brain.
Yeah. Hmm.
So maybe I'm drawing the line at something on that generation of consoles where
So like the early 2000s. 24 years ago, roughly 20 years ago,
Again,
I
that's not
guess.
like yeah, saying they're again. I wouldn't. I guess just because I'm older than that, I wouldn't call them old. Is I'm having a harder time calling someone old than I am calling someone young.
Yeah.
Because which is obviously because of my age. Because when I'm saying like, oh, someone who's old, I'm not really necessarily saying myself. I'm saying like people who like like they were cognizant humans when the NES came out. Then I'm like,
Right.
okay, you got to be in your like 40s.
Right. Yeah. I guess it makes me realize I don't think it just in general I've ever used a game as a reference to say somebody's old or young by release date. Usually by like what the content is, like Roblox or something.
Right, but there's got to be some like category of game where if you were just talking to someone like new, hypothetical scenario, you just met them and they just said like, "Oh, hey, my favorite game is," and then they say like a PS1 game, in your head you're like, "Okay, I know exactly how old you are.
Yeah, okay,
You're an
sure.
old person." Like, you know what I mean?
You're an old person. Yeah.
Like someone comes to you and they're like, "Chrono Trigger." Yeah, that was my favorite game as a kid. It's like, "Okay, well, I know, yeah, you're old now.
In that case,
There's no way you're."
I think I'm with you. PS2 era seems like where the line is starting to be drawn. End of PS2, GameCube era, where it's like anyone on one side is young, quote unquote, and everyone on
Yeah.
the other is old.
Like, okay, someone their first console was a 360. That's 2006 as the launch. I guess I'm not calling them
I would probably call them old between the two, I guess, because
old.
now
So
I'm
it's
thinking Wii. If your favorite console was the Wii, you're probably young,
sure.
maybe,
Or you just didn't play a lot. You don't play a lot of games, so you're
or
like, I don't know. We had a Wii. I played a lot of
or
Wii Sports with my family.
or you're extremely old.
Yeah,
It's
that's
one
true.
of the
Yeah, it's
two.
like, man, they make games like this now. I remember when it was just Pong.
Yeah. Dead writes, "Oh no, I've come down with a case of Muso.
Oh,
I've been
gross.
playing Samurai Warriors 5 and enjoying it a lot. I need an antidote.
Mask, please.
I need an antidote, an exact opposite of a game in order to cure this. What do doctors Paul, John, and Sean recommend?"
Oh, this is a good question. The opposite of a Muso game.
So the first thing that came to my mind is it's not exact opposite because you're still fighting, but instead of like fighting a lot of things, what about like Titan Souls where you're fighting one big thing and you have one like arrow to do it, something that's very deliberate and kind of slow in how you have to approach it rather than crazy flashy with 1,000 things going on.
Okay. Or like, yeah, like a one-on-one game. It's like a boxing game
Sure.
or
Okay.
a fighting game. But I guess if we want it to be full opposite, we want it to be slower, right?
Yeah.
What came to my mind was Journey.
Yeah. Okay.
That can like it's slow,
There's like
it's
nothing.
quiet,
Yeah.
it's really good as opposed to really bad. Um, that's the one that popped into my initially. I was like, okay, I was thinking like maybe like Last of Us, like single player, slow, kind of quiet. And then I was like, what's even if I go for like what remains of Edith Finch or
Like a
just like a
walking
walking
sim.
simulator.
Mhm.
I do like the one-on-one style for the fighting part. Sure, it's a good idea too. Last question for Phantom Aegis. Do you believe Amiibo will continue to be produced in Nintendo's next successor? Like the console, I'm assuming. If
Mm.
so, what form will they take? Will they still be a collectible statue toy or something else like the bracelets used at Super Nintendo World?
Well, for backwards
I don't think.
compatibility, I would assume they would have at least a reader of some sort. So maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have like NFC on there because it just
Yeah.
seems like like every phone has that now. It just seems like something you just kind of put in devices. Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I can't see them like if they continue switching it to the bracelets because then they're less collectible. Like who wants to be like, look at all
Mm.
these bracelets I got. I feel like they just stay. I feel like they keep going.
I feel like if they want to be cheap, they just go cards, like with the Happy Home Designer or whatever, where it's just like cards with a
Oh, you're
chip
talking
in it.
about the e-reader for like the Game Boy? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I know what you're
pretty
saying.
much. That Animal Crossing
They
thing.
Yeah, those had cards. That's true. Yeah. I mean, amiibo cards, right? That's what those are called.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. They've done cards. I don't like amiibos. I think are still super popular.
they're
I think
cool.
they just keep going.
I like
I don't.
amiibos.
I can't see them like changing them up to make them like better in some way. Maybe they just put like better DLC tied to them, but
Hmm.
that's not necessarily like affecting the statue. Is more just like when it connects to the internet or whatever, like the code it gets, yada yada.
I wonder if you can make it so that like no, because they want to keep their like virtual console thing. They like basically sell old games in like a little amiibo or something. Like you put the Metroid on and you have Metroid 1 for the NES now or Access or something. But
Yeah,
I
that'd
th-
be cool. I can't see them doing that because they
no.
could have done that. And like I just don't. Yeah, I don't see it because
Yeah,
I feel like amiibos don't ever add anything like that cool.
yeah.
Like what was it in like Breath of the Wild? It's like here's a box of potions or whatever. Here's some health packs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the equivalent of in a free to play game, you know, they'll give you like get your free whatever or whatever and it's like 10 rubies or something and it doesn't do anything but it's something.
Sure. Yeah, it's not even like the good currency. It's just one
Yeah,
of the currencies,
it's just
but not
one
the
of
one you
them.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anything changes. They just keep making new ones. That's my guess.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. Thanks everyone for writing in. If you want to write in to next week's show, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Oh, Erdtree, for sure.
I'm gonna give it to First Ascendant. I was enjoying that quite a bit.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.